starts to pay off right here.
Well, you guys put this guy through torture. We're talking about Tedesco down there in Florida in the heat. I mean, talk about the type of training that this guy does.
He does a lot of training, you know. Obviously, I try to give him some decent advice, and he's got plenty of advice from a lot of good people. And each guy is different. What worked for me, you know, was good. Doesn't necessarily work for him, you know. So he's definitely he isn't scared to put in the time. It's just finding the right, you know, the right mixture.
Yeah, that's what it is. Even Short is known as being very physically fit in the gym and on the bicycle. But when it comes to racing, that extra intensity, sometimes that can make a difference. Now, there's Chad Reed there. He's riding for the team that Ricky used to ride for. And we kidded around with Chad a bit about he's got a race with Ricky watching him today. Let's hear from Chad.
I think, you know, Ricky's a racer at heart. You know, if I get a good start and I'm winning and I'm riding well, I'm sure he's going to have good things to say. But if I'm buried in the pack, he's going to say that Reed needs to get a good start and pick it up, you know. And it's the truth of the matter. You know, season's been going good and whatnot. I feel like I've been riding well, but it just having me put myself in good positions. So, you know, starting this weekend, I need to get good starts and put myself up front, and we'll be fine. And Ricky will have, you know, try and give Ricky something good to say.
All right, we'll say something good.
Man.
The guy's in control right now.
He's in control. There's no doubt. And you know what? Hey, I call it like it is. And he is the best guy in the series. I said it before. And the reason I say that is because he has championship experience. And I'm going to be hard on him. I know he's sick and everything, but he didn't sign up for the series if he didn't think he was going to be able to win. So I'm going to tell him, hey, dude, you have plenty of credentials to win this. There's no reason you shouldn't.
He's going after it right now. And to give you an idea of the sickness we're talking about that Reed is dealing with, in some of these second motos this year, the second race on the day, like David, you said, it's basically past halftime. There have been times where he has felt so bad, he has actually thrown up inside that helmet and never slowed down. And that is impressive. That's how bad these guys want it. And don't think Tedesco is going to be a pushover out there. He hasn't won a moto ever in this Premier 450 division, and he can see it. But Reed can see an inside line. Here he goes. Tedesco on the outside. A little bit bigger racetrack, a little bit faster racetrack. Able to hold on. There comes Reed again. You see the fans there waving the towels as Reed goes by. Oh, Tedesco stalls on the inside.
That was a beautiful move by Reed to go around the outside and try to get in. And it just messed up Tedesco right there because it pinched him and he had less room and stalled it as a result.
Chad Reed, he might have needed that little break. We know how tough it has been down the stretch for him. We'll take a look at it. Ricky, take us through Tedesco on the inside.
Reed's on the outside and just basically just strong arm and leans into him. And I don't know if Ivan tried to get into the turn too hot, but didn't have the clutch in enough and stalled.
He was thinking a lot about Chad, not about his own deal. That's for sure.
All right, so Chad Reed now in control. Can he put the finishing touches on it? Tedesco is back with a vengeance. Stay with us here on Ally Sports, our coverage of motocross when we return. Welcome back to NBC Sports live coverage of the Lucas Oil AMA Pro Motocross Championship, America's premier motocross racing championship, and really we should say the world. Oh, an Australian, I was going to say that's Chad Reed out front, but he fell down. And more riders piling up behind him. And I believe that was that Tedesco who's challenging him.
Behind him.
Oh, that was the break Tedesco needed. We're Jason Wygant calling it Ricky Carmichael and David Bailey. That was the break Tedesco needed.
It was, and I don't. What just happened right now?
Reed fell, and Tedesco came in there, hit his bike, and fell. So we're back where we were.
Unbelievable. And we were just talking. We were at break about when it looks easy at this point, how hard it is to get into this situation, how hard Reed has to work during the week and during this race to make it easy like this, and even still tough at that level.
You work so hard to get in the position that Reed is in right now. The chances you take, I mean, you know, your feet are hanging off the pegs just to get by into the first position to where you can get into a clean track where no one's in front of you, you're not eating roost, and then you go along and you make an unfortunate mistake like that. Just all the hard work you did, man, makes it tough.
And you see him looking back going, okay, so what happened? Who's in second now? You know, he's going to get the signal right now from Mike Gosler. And as your mechanic, Ricky, He's a motivator,
Oh, man,
huh?
yeah, he's one of the best guys in the business, man. Very fortunate to have him tuning on my bike, and hopefully for him he'll get the win. That'd be really cool. But yeah, I can't believe that was the break Tedesco needed, and I don't know what happened. I wish we had it on film there, but that just can't believe that.
On a motocross track, you got to hit your marks perfectly. You got to get the bike inside those ruts. We mentioned the off-campers as the track leans away from you in a corner. The bumps are bigger than they've been all day. And for Reed, who we've mentioned several times here, has been struggling with some physical illness issues, maybe even losing a little bit of focus. And there are the Honda guys. They're still close to 29 of Short and the 9 of Tedesco. Reed's not out of it yet. There's a challenge. And we do have a replay here of what happened to Reed, our leader. Go ahead and take us through it, David.
Well, Reed's going to get into try to duck it into this deep rut right here.
Oh, there's a
wheel
rock.
Pops out.
There's a rock in the rut. Boom.
And Tedesco is the same. Unbelievable. They both hit the same rock. They did not touch each other. And in the reset, it's actually Short, who did not fall hitting that rock, who is in second place. And he's only 3 seconds behind Reed, and in the overall, Short were to pass Reed, he would win the race for the day. So Reed, who we know is struggling a bit physically, can he hang on? And also, when you crash like that, it's very hard to get your rhythm back. So Reed's got a lot working against him right now, and Short's just one of those factors.
Absolutely, but I still think, you know, with the experience Reed has, I still think he is in the best seat. Now, I'm looking for a charge from Tedesco to try to get back in this #2 spot.
Wow, an errant rock nearly cost Reed, and Tedesco did the same thing. We talked about ruts, we talked about jumps, heat, fatigue, setting up your bike, and then there's rocks to deal with out here too.
Absolutely. Dude, this place is just brutal right now. There's that jump there that Grant had that unfortunate luck there. These guys seem to have it pretty smooth right now.
Andrew got across that off camber really nice.
Yeah.
You know, he needs to pick it up right now and put it together. You know, in the first moto, he was looking good, fell off a bit, and then Josh Grant actually woke him up some. And I think the misfortune by the guys ahead of him this time and getting back around his teammate, that's woken him up a little bit. And although he's running out of time, he still has a chance to win this race and the overall. You can see Chad, just when he lands off that jump, you'll see him making the left.
And his mechanic, Jay, there, hangs the signboard out. We showed those earlier. That's the only way to communicate with the riders. Dig deep. Look at the countdown clock at the top of the screen. The next time they get to the finish line, the clock will expire, and the 2-lap board will come out. So 3 laps left here to determine our winner at High Point. It all comes down to who wants it, who can hang it out. And we've seen time and time again in this game, when you're tired and the track is rough, that's when mistakes happen. And that's already what happened to Reed and Tedesco. Don't think it can't happen again. Until that checkered flag is out in motocross, it's not over. How about Tommy Hahn, who has climbed all the way up to 4th for the young kid out of Texas? And this would be a career best for him. And Ricky, you know this kid pretty well. He works hard.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Tommy really is doing good. He's showed me a lot, actually, this outdoor season. He's got great style. The kid can ride. He's got a couple good rides. I know he rode for factory Honda last year or the year before or something like that. But it's neat to see him, you know, doing good. Taking basically a step back from off a factory team to a privateer team, a decent privateer team. So I think they got good stuff. It's nice to see him doing good.
And I talked to the team manager, Bill, and he said, you know, I go, what do you want out of this? He goes, we just want to be the top non-factory backed bike. And they accomplished that at the first round of the season. I kind of looked at him like, hey, you did it. And he's like, yeah, but now we got those expectations. We got to back it up. Man, is he backing it up today? His best finish ever.
He's got, hold on. Got Michael Byrne on that factory Suzuki behind him. Byrne was injured during our Supercross tour. That's the Stadium Series they run from January through May. And then once summer begins, we race here in the Motocross Tour outdoors. Byrne, the Australian, back at a race at the Daytona Speedway in March, crashed in a big accident in the first turn. Separated his shoulder through the back. The shoulder actually came out through the back. In motocross, unfortunately, there are some injuries like separated shoulders that are commonplace, but normally the shoulder goes forward. It went through the back, and he couldn't ride for months. He's basically racing himself back into shape. He's riding what's probably a 60 horsepower machine that only weighs a little over 200 pounds. So that thing can get away from you quick if the upper body strength isn't there. So Byrne, racing your way back into shape is very difficult at this level.
Absolutely.
And
especially, like I said, when these guys have been racing all year and you've missed out, it's tough. So I think he's doing really good.
He's made pretty decent comebacks each time he's had an injury. When he comes back, he's fast right away. So he struggled in the first couple of races because his fitness wasn't there. But as his fitness is coming around, the riding ability and the technical skill he has is good enough to put him up on top.